Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us and spending your time with us. I'm Colin Breckles with Castlebrec. Graham?
Graham Akers, Brad Tech Systems in Vancouver. Gordon?
I'm Gordon Heiko. I'm with HCL. I develop on the app pack. Heiko?
Heiko from Harbourlight in Halifax, and we have a very special guest with us today. And hopefully I'm going to make 5 points now out of the blue, more or less. It's Luis Guirigay from HCL. He recently joined HCL a couple of months back. I think I saw your first day or one of your first days at Engage. Yep. That's in the beautiful zoo in Arnhem, when everything was still hunky-dory regarding the coronavirus. Anyways, Luis is here today to tell us a little bit more about his latest venture, the HCL Digital Solutions Academy, and I hope the name is correct. And so, Luis, what's that? And tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, thank you, Heiko. So good morning or good afternoon or good evening, whatever time you're going to be watching this recording. So the HCL Digital Solutions Academy is, this new program that we want to bring to the market to close a couple of gaps, right? I would say gap number one is technical education. Everybody loves technical education. Everybody loves curriculum education. So we're, planning on closing that gap with the help of HCL business partners, HCL masters, and customers. The other gap we want to close is the awareness gap, the technical awareness. I can tell you that I meet with customers all the time, and one thing it's funny to see is that they don't know that our products can do X, Y, Z, right? Like, for example, if you remember some of the demos I have done in the past, making Domino talk to Alexa or making Domino to integrate with things like Slack, customers were like, wow, I didn't know you could do that. So that's the other gap we want to close. And finally, just like I said in the blog, technical certification is very close to my heart, just like it is to many of you. That's exactly word by word as I said it in the blog. But the point is that, every time I meet with customers or business partners, they all say like, hey, what about certification? What about certification? I know that we were all very proud to wear those CLP or CLS or PCLP little, gold pins, a couple of years back. So yes, that's what I would say is the last phase of the academy, but it's one of our dearest goals, right? If we can get to that point, I would say, yeah, the academy was a complete success.
Wow. So what's the portfolio you're currently looking at? Is this all of digital solutions, or is it currently focused on specific products for the start?
Yeah, so let me tell you about what I do at HCL. So yes, I came to HCL about 3.5 months ago. I don't remember now. But yes, my first day with the company was actually at Engage. So that was a very, fun way to start this nice adventure. I'm in charge of what we call the Technical Advisors Organization for Digital Solutions. So my team, we have a global team. I have people, all over the world. We cover everything notes in Domino, Vault, connections, same time, and digital experience. So yes, basically the entire digital solutions portfolio is going to be included as part of the HCL Digital Solutions Academy.
And I read about your blog post and I saw a couple of the first resources that you posted. So what are the formats that you're currently looking at regarding, for example, educational content?
Yeah. So the thing about the academy is that, this is a very, ambitious goal, right? It's if we do things right and we play the pieces, at the right time and in the right way, this could become, one of the most important, initiative within our, relationship with customers and business partners. So when we made that soft launch, and when I say soft launch is because when we made that announcement last week, we wanted to focus on lineup of live events, okay? So that it's gonna be one of the deliverables of the Academy. So if you look at the Academy as a program, the way I would describe the Academy is that one umbrella that covers everything education, okay? So one of the outcomes or one of the deliverables under that Academy umbrella is live events. That announcement last week, we look at, this is our lineup of events for the next 60 days, globally, by geo, and in different languages, right? So that was our first step of the announcement. And I cannot really confirm numbers right now, but I saw that, you know, there was this one event, for example, that we were planning in AP, and right after the announcement, you know, it's a technical event, right? So very much value to everybody that runs our platform. But after the announcement, we drove the registration up by like 300% or 200%. So, you know, one of the goals of the Academy is make sure that everybody knows where to find, you know, content and education and what's happening, what's going on. So phase one is what we did last week. So that's all about webinars and workshops. We want that to be delivered not only by HCL. So the lineup you saw last week is all mostly delivered by HCL people, but we want to invite, you know, masters and business partners and customers. Whoever is an SME, right, need to have equal right to participate and contribute, right? So one type of deliverable is webinars and workshops. For the upcoming weeks, you will see other pieces of content or other pieces of other type of deliverables. And you can see, for example, technical education videos. If you think about webinar, a webinar could be anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours of one way, you know, one direction content. Sometimes it's hard to follow. Sometimes it's hard to consume. So we want to bring that a little bit back and say, instead of making you consume a 2-hour video, let's split that into smaller 15, maybe 20-minute, you know, even, but deeper, right? Because the fact that now they are smaller, we can go deeper on that specific area. So we can now have a lot of technical education videos on, let's say, about Domino, for example. How do I use REST APIs in Domino? We can spend 15, 20 minutes going deep into how to do it. We can show code. We can show people what they need to do and stuff like that. So that's another piece of, you know, what we want to do with content. Another piece is workshops or hands-on labs. Right now, because of the pandemic, we have to go digital only, but eventually, when we go back to the ability of getting together and spend quality time together as a working family, we want to do digital workshops, you know, factory tours, DX Connect events. Those events by themselves, they are not gonna, I don't believe, I mean, at the end, that's up to marketing, but I don't believe they are gonna rebrand as something else. We're just gonna make sure that all those education events or assets or deliverables are just part of the Academy umbrella. But back to my point about workshop is, at least for now, given the pandemic restrictions, I would like to bring the possibility of, you know, those hands-on labs workshops that you guys do when we go to conferences. We want to bring that digital. And just to give you an example, by the end of this week, we should announce a series of workshops for Same Time 11.5. That's going to be out hopefully very, very soon. And given that Same Time 11.5 is very different from what you guys have done in the past with Same Time meetings, we want to make sure that we have very cool, you know, hands-on labs delivered in a digital way, so business partners and customers, they know how to do it. So that's another example of assets. Now, what can you guys or the people listening this recording can contribute with? I would say, you know, technical videos, right? You know, short 15, 20 minute videos on how to do something that either provides educational value, right? Or provides that technical awareness value. Now, if you show something just for the fact of technical awareness, like, oh, look at this amazing demo on how I can use Domino or Same Time. I mean, that's nice, but I would ask you to go one step further and not only show what it can do, show how to do it, show how people can do exactly that. So technical education videos would be what I would think is probably the most important one. There is also webinars, let's work together, between HCL, product management, development, and my team, the technical advisors, and let's try to deliver some webinars together, right? If you are, Heiko, for example, if you are a deep dive SME expert, whatever, into this specific technology, and you have an idea about one topic that would benefit the community, let's talk about it. Let's see if we can do a webinar on it, right? And there is also this idea of, again, hands-on labs, right? If there is a lab you would like to see and you have the skills to deliver it, you want to contribute, let's go ahead and do it. Now, another way to contribute is let us know what you need, right? Let us know what your customers are asking for. If you don't have the time to contribute with content, at least try to find this time to give us feedback so we know exactly what type of content we want to produce and we need to produce.
Okay, so next question. So that sounds really great from a consuming point of view, also from a contribution point of view. So what would be the entry point for me to access that offering from both angles? Like, what's the focus point where I would go to as a consumer for these kind of things, and who will be, or what? How can I add to contribute something? Is that something that you would contact you, or is there a public place where we could like go, like an URL we can go to like a first vault application that we can use to contribute stuff, or what are you thinking about that?
Yeah, so for now, again, because we are only at phase 1 of the Academy, excuse me, if you want to consume content, so there's going to be a couple of different options. For live events, like webinars and stuff like that, I mean, we're going to, every week, in addition to that blog announcement, every week we're going to go on social media. People can blog about it, and we're going to update that blog we announced last week. We're going to keep updating that with lineup of events. And remember, it's always the next 60 days. That's kind of our focus. Once in a while, you will see something like maybe 90, maybe 120 days, but it will always be the next 60 days. On social media, we're going to keep promoting what's happening this week and what new events were added to that lineup, right? And the platform for those, for now, it will always be, what HCL uses, which is either go to webinar, go to meetings, or go to training. That's why when you go there, you have the option to either register, or you have the option to email for an invite. Because sometimes, based on the geo, they don't want to use go to webinar because they want it to be more intimate. They want it to be more of a roundtable experience. So you will see all of that. During this phase 1, most of the on-demand education, like recorded webinars, are going to stay on GoToWebinar because they have the proper platform for that. Now, these shorter videos most likely are going to go on YouTube. We have a channel for the Digital Solutions unit, and within that channel, we're going to create special areas for the Academy, right? Academy for DX, Academy for Notes and Domino, Academy for Vault. So you will see all of that. We already have actually a couple of videos that we're just doing, some last minute changes into the template, the music, and all of that. But you will see a couple of videos going on YouTube later today or tomorrow. Now, phase 2, okay? So I don't want to commit to a date, right? Because there are some other factors in play, like the pandemic itself. But when we're ready to go to phase 2, our plan is to deploy a learning management system platform, okay? that it's going to be open to customers and business partners. We're not doing education for profit, just so you guys know. I mean, education is to educate our customers and to help our customers and also our business partners. So once we can move forward with this LMS, we're going to open that to business partners and customers. They can go and register, and then we can move the content from YouTube into the LMS, and we can have, we can have it better organized. We can create learning journeys. And let's say, for example, Heiko, you don't know anything about Same Time 11.5, so we want to create a very easy to follow learning journey where we say, okay, from 0 to hero, these are the videos, these are the webinars, these are the articles, these are the white papers, you want to consume. So that's kind of the plan for phase 2, have an LMS where everybody can go register, authenticate, and consume all this content. Right now, before the LMS is in place, if you go to the blog, there is a kind of, send me an email or send feedback kind of link. I think that for now, it goes to my email address, which is completely fine. But we already put a request to actually create an account called ds.academy@hcl.com, right? So if you have feedback, at least today, or what day is today, June 8th, you can send that email directly to my email address or just follow that blog. And within the next couple of days, we're going to make that new email address ds.academy@hcl.com, where you can provide feedback, and that's going to go to a couple of people internally. So, we are all part of the same team.
Cool.
And then phase 3 is, or I won't put words, I'll ask the question. When does certification come along?
So, as I said, I don't want to put dates because this whole pandemic is putting a very special, different kind of variable that nobody was expecting. But phase 3 is technical certification. But for me to get there, I need to close the content gap. I need to have a lot of content, because if I go today and I announce a certification for Notes and Domino, it will be basically questions coming out of the documentation. That's it. And we don't want to do that, right? Because some people are very, very good at reading documentation and have like a photographic memory, and those people will pass the exam. Now, I'm not saying they are bad. I mean, they are equally good. But I also want to give the opportunity to other people that they are more hands-on people. So we want to create this certification based on not only, what the documentation says, but also, real life experiences. So we have to close that gap, and that's going to take, quite some time, 5 months, 6 months, I don't know. But once we have that, and once we have these learning journeys or the LMS, and we can, think about like a roadmap, right? Okay, so if you want to take this certification, this is the roadmap or the learning journey we want to follow. That will include links to documentation. That will include links to videos. That will include articles. I don't know what's going to be there, but the idea is that when you finish that journey, and this is going to open probably another topic of questions, you will get a badge. Oh, I finished this journey. Now, the next step is I want to certify, and that will be, the actual certification that you will also get a badge, or a certificate or whatever it's going to be. But in a perfect world, to me, technical certification should be around early 2021.
Okay.
Awesome.
Outstanding.
Okay, guys. Any more questions for that to that topic today?
No, let's
For me, I think this is a great place to
the
start.
URL. One more time, where can people find the Digital Solutions Academy?
So we don't have a direct link at the moment. So you just have to go to our blog. Actually, that's something I can take as a homework. Make sure that there is a short link that people can remember. And that's kind of the bookmark you should be using for now, because that's the announcement we're going to keep updating with new lineup. But let me take that as a as homework, make sure that we create a short link that is easier to remember. But again, Twitter, social media, there are a bunch of, groups on Facebook. So social media is a very important piece of the Academy strategy. I just remember that if you go to our support forums, we have links in the support forums today as well. So if you go into any product and you look at the forums, there should be a bookmark somewhere in the top, area of the forum. That I saw that early this morning, where you can see all these links to the Academy blog.
That's great. We'll also put a link in the video description of this video on YouTube, and we typically post a blog post on the c3ug.ca website, and we'll include the link with that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said, the moment we have that LMS platform ready to go, it's going to be a kind of ACL, software announcement, not only for digital solutions. I know that other brands, they are following very, very close. So it will be that one unique place for everything ACL software where people will go for education. But as I said, that's phase 2. We're working on it. Hopefully we will give you guys an update very soon.
Outstanding.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing with us. This is great. People will be
Absolutely.
very excited about it.
Absolutely. Happy to be here and happy to help.
Thank you so much. So I think that concludes it for today. And as always, Colin, your famous last words?
Well, smash the notifications bell icon, and like, comment, subscribe, get us noticed on YouTube, and give lots of love to the Digital Solutions Academy when it goes live. Thanks, everybody.